something that's happening globally, specifically, though, Southern California. Record droughts, obviously, historic droughts are happening. Southern California, new water restrictions starting June 1st, which we're almost at the end of June now. And my big issue with this is not that we shouldn't. I definitely think we should conserve water, obviously. I think businesses should definitely conserve water. But my big issue is that every time I see one of these things, whether it's, these studies on how much water is being used, all these things about how we need to cut back, how much like agriculture uses water, how much residents use water, all this different stuff. I never see factored in anywhere how much water golf courses use. Because there are, in the Coachella Valley itself, over 120 golf courses. Now, you want to talk about a game for wealthy people, right? For the privileged few that are located inside gated communities and resorts, a game, a recreational activity that uses cubic butt tons of water, never being mentioned anywhere on anything when it comes to restricting water or cutting out water. Now, I've already gone people on Instagram, social media, trying to defend golf courses. Not all golf courses are private. Yeah, there's public golf courses, sure. It's still a game. Golf courses don't produce food like agriculture produces food, which is, in addition to water, another thing people need to survive: food, water, shelter. Golf courses provide none of those things. It is a recreational activity provided for very few people. A huge plot of land covered in lush greenery that is not edible, not a habitat for wildlife. Any kind of wildlife on a golf course is considered a pest, okay? Because they don't want wildlife messing with their pristine game board. So yeah, there are public courses, but that's not the point. I've also had people say, well, some courses use recycled water, which, oh, good. I guarantee you, not every single course, right? There's a percentage that use recycled water. And, by the way, we are in a drought. So what water is being recycled for them to use? And why can't that water be used for agriculture or residents? You're telling me every golf course has a water treatment plant in it to recycle used water? Because I live in the valley and it doesn't rain here. Not to mention anywhere, because there is a drought. If it rained all the time, we wouldn't be in a drought. So you're saying they're using enough water to be recycled to water golf courses? So they're not restricting their initial water intake? I think that's bullshit anyway. You want to talk about, an elite game like golf, right? A game that historically has only been, like, for the majority of the existence of this game, was only allowed to be played by white men, right? Women, very new to the game. Anybody of color, very new to the game historically. So very, very specific, and you have to have money. It's not, golf clubs aren't cheap. Being able to afford to go play at a golf course isn't cheap. There's a reason why they hide these golf courses behind walls in gated communities and resorts, because they don't want people seeing them, walking over. Like, it's a very exclusive game that only wealthy people can play when they want to relax. Like people like Trump, who golfed for the majority of his presidency. You think those types of people give a fuck about water conservation, about any kind of conservation? The people that try to eliminate all restrictions on everything give a shit, would ever deprive themselves of playing a game on anything but lush green grass? No. It is up to the regular people to make sure they don't water their lawns and they don't use water at their homes so that the wealthy people can keep their golf courses. I think it's complete bullshit, and I'm surprised. Like, there should be people protesting outside of every single golf resort. The walls that surround golf resorts and, gated communities should be covered in graffiti, in all kind of protest materials to let people know that behind these walls is lush green grass that is constantly being watered. You want to know the most disgusting thing I've seen in this valley? Over in Indian Wells by the tennis resort where they do the big Parabas tennis tournament, right? Huge global tournament. During the last drought, 2015-ish, another big drought in California, driving by, sprinklers watering giant parts of land outside of the tennis stadium. You know what that area was used? You know what they were watering the grass on those large swaths of dirt? You know what that was used? That was used for a parking lot. Because they didn't want the people attending the tennis tournament to have dirty cars. They don't want it to kick up any dust. So they water grass. They put grass and they water it. So these wealthy people can just park their cars without them having to get dirty in any way. Just zero problem watering a parking lot for people that want to go watch a tennis tournament. Right? And that's what we see out in public. That's what you can see with your eyeballs from the road. Then you go, if you've ever been in the Coachella Valley, you drive around anywhere, Rancho Mirage, parts of La Quinta, Palm Desert. There are tons of gated communities. There's plenty of streets you drive down, and it's just walls. You can't see in. You can't go in. There's gated communities within gated communities. If you've ever driven Uber or done food delivery out here, you get to go inside those places, and you see the worlds that are inside those gated communities. And let me tell you, there's not a lot of water restriction going on in those areas. So when I see stuff like this, where Southern California residents need to really do their part, I would love to know the part that golf courses are playing in this drought situation we have. Because they are using exponentially more water than all of the residents to produce a game board, a place, a surface by which a select few people get to play a boring fucking game. Just a game where they hit a little ball into a hole that's far away. I understand it's challenging. I've played golf before. But I would give up the existence of golf in order to have water. Because guess what humans need? Water. Humans need water more than these wealthy fucks need this little recreational activity. And I don't see it anywhere on any of these things. I always bring it up. Whenever I see a post on IG or Twitter or whatever, I'm like, well, what about all the golf courses that use a ton of water, let's say 100 people get to go through in a day and play on those courses. Maybe 200 people. That's not a lot. They're not packing those courses with people running through. You know? It's a luxury recreational thing that only some people are allowed to do. That some people are able to afford to do. And it's disgusting. It is disgusting. Because it's not like we don't have enough of these wealthy fucks just getting exponentially richer while everybody else is becoming homeless and the government is making homelessness illegal. It is like it is becoming more and more illegal to just exist in this world. Meanwhile, they're unwilling to do anything to give up a game. Their little precious game of hitting a ball into a hole. So fuck golf. Fuck all the golf courses. There should be protests at every fucking golf course. There should be studies. There should be audits. How much water are these golf courses using? How bullshit is this recycled water stuff? I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Are you telling me that this is the one thing that wealthy people are telling the truth about? This is the one thing? No. You know how easy it is for them to just pay off people? It's like, well, don't, Group R, I'm sure what they do is they pile their numbers into agriculture, right? Even though golf is not agriculture. It doesn't produce shit. It's a game. It's a recreational activity. So they inflate the agriculture numbers because what are you going to do? Oh, we need to make those more efficient. Meanwhile, golf courses, I'm sure, have gotten more efficient over the years, only because they want to spend less. But they're still using a fuck ton of water to make a green game board for their people to play on. Anyway, fuck golf.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.